Shabbat Shalom to everybody from First Yahudin Messianic Temple here in Lake Placid, Florida, and welcome again to the message today. And thank you for being with us and for allowing us to be either in your homes or in your cars or wherever it is that you're at. Like every day or every time we get together, it is a beautiful day outside. It's gorgeous. It's sunny. Maybe where you're at is snowing, but it's okay because this is the day that He has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. I took the liberty of writing this message, and it's on soulmates. Some people believe in soulmates. Some people don't believe in soulmates. The Bible really doesn't express a lot about soulmates. But the reason I brought this, I brought this message is because a lot of people, a lot of couples are having problems in their own relationships. And the sad thing is that a lot of times what they do is they blame the other partner or the other spouse, not knowing that the problem is themselves. What am I talking about? You cannot have what you have never been given, and you cannot give what you don't have. What does that mean? That means that every human being has their own gift. What you have, what your gift is, I don't have. And what I have, my gift, maybe you don't have. And this is a problem that a lot of couples are having. And this is why a lot of people in relationship, they don't understand each other. Okay? See, you cannot have what you never have been given is because the gift that you don't have, you will never be given. The gift that you don't have, the person that lives with you has. And if that person doesn't have it, then that person has never had it. Some people have it. Some people don't. But if you have it, don't let it slip away. And hold on really if you really have a soulmate. Sometimes in life, you find a special someone in your life. Someone who changes your life by just being part of that person's life. Who makes you believe that there is really good in the world. Don't take for granted this type of relationship if you do have it. Because this type of relationship, if you do have this type of person in your life, is a really true friend forever. Not everything that shines is gold. And honestly and truly, I personally believe in soulmates. Even though it's not biblically inclined, but in reality, if you go into the scriptures, I really believe it is. And I'll take you in a little bit there in the scriptures. There's a lot of things in the spiritual world that is a mystery that we cannot comprehend, we don't understand. And one of them is relationships. Relationships and what's the purpose of marriage, and why did I get married, and why, why is he like this or why is she like that? Your soulmate, if you do have one, if you have the right person that you're married to, that you have a relationship with, that person is supposed to complement you. let me explain it this way. There is a puzzle of 1,000 pieces. You begin to pull the puzzles together, and they go one after, and it takes time. But really, your soulmate are the last two pieces. The last two pieces that are left in that jigsaw puzzle is really what is a soulmate. The rest are not soulmates. Because a soulmate, what they do is what draws their attention is your inner world. It's what's inside of you, not what's outside. And I'll explain that in a little bit. We should function, or we should be functioning in the deepest dimensions of relationship in areas like marriage. We should be functioning idea with our soulmates. How can two people living together under the same roof speak different language? How is that possible? When he talks, she has no idea what he is saying. And when she talks, he has no idea what she is saying. How did we get married and why? Every human being, everybody who wants a relationship, and I'm talking about a marriage, living, being with somebody the rest of their life, is they go and they say, I want to find my true love, my true soulmate, somebody that really, number one, and we all have done this. How can you say this? How can you find a soulmate when you don't even know what a soulmate is? How can you know what a soulmate is when you yourself don't even know what your soul is? You cannot find what you don't have. And you might have it, but you have to really find yourself first. In order for you to find the right person in your life, see, it's not about finding the right person, it's about finding yourself. If you don't have that clarity in you, then you will not understand what it is to be what it is to have a soulmate, what it is to have a partner, a person that's going to share your life together for the rest of your life while you're living in this world. This is what marriage is your partner that will share your life, your dreams, your goals, your misfortunes, whatever it is that person that's going to share with you. And how would you find that when, number one, the first thing that you have to find is yourself? That's why you cannot have what you have never been given. Truly, soulmates you do not find. A real soulmate finds you. How is that? Because a soulmate really is not finding. It's not looking for you. It just happens automatic because that's the way the Most High has made it to be. But what has happened to us as human beings? We look at the person, how sexy they are. Ooh, you're so sexy for my life. Ooh, how sexy you are. And we look at the external. How many six packs and how big are the boobies and how beautiful is your skin. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with really physical attraction. But a soulmate really goes beyond that. A lot of us, we have relationship with other people because of the exterior, not the interior. That's why there's so many problems today in relationships. What is a soul? Literally, what is a soul? A soul is the immortal part of a man or mankind. What is a soulmate? A soulmate is not just somebody that you're dating. No. A soulmate Okay? It's beyond that. A soulmate is someone who is aligned with your soul and is sent to challenge, awaken, and stir different parts of you in order for your soul to transcend to a higher level of consciousness and awareness. It is not like love at first sight, sort of speaking. It's more like gravity. Soulmates, really, what it is two magnets that pulls you together. It's gravity that moves regardless of who this person might be. When we find him or her, we are never the same again. This person who somehow completes us and makes our lives and hearts a little more whole. And once you find each other and you find the connection, it's almost without effort or trying at all, and it doesn't die out. It's just there. Soulmates do not fall out of love. Soulmates picked up and help each other. This is why I was saying that a jigsaw puzzle of 1,000 pieces, those are called relationships. But the last two that are left in that jigsaw puzzle, those are the real soulmates. That comes together, and what happens? They really connect. And really, if you notice on the jigsaw puzzle, it's the one that really makes the whole picture. Because your soulmate is supposed to be a person that's supposed to walk with you in this journey of life to make your life and you make their life better while you are on this journey of life. It is the person who makes us better versions of ourselves. The person who loves us unconditionally. Does not look at our flaws. Because when we get married and we are in a relationship, we go into that relationship with problems. We go with that relationship with flaws, with things that we don't like. Thinking that this person who we marry is going to better us, and it's supposed to be like that. But what happens is we don't take the time to study ourselves, what it is that we want in life. What kind of partner do we want? But in order for us to do that, we need to really focus on us and study ourselves. We go and we do what all of us do. What is attracted to us physically. And what we look at the external, what's outside of the person. What happens is, during that time, what happens is something is missing. Something is missing. We begin to have problems. Don't think that soulmates do not have problems. But there's a difference. The difference between soulmates and just regular folks that just have a relationship is that soulmates, even though you will have your indifferences, automatically when they just come down, they go and they want to help the other person. They want to lift the other person. They want to help. Why? Because they feel what the other person is feeling. Now, when you're in a relationship that you only see the external, you don't lift the inside because you don't care how the other person feels. You really don't. The soulmate is the person who makes us better versions of ourselves. The person who loves us unconditionally. The person who realizes that our value, that we're very valuable, and always, always reminding us how valuable we are. Soulmate is a type of person that will look at us and they can tell what type of day you are having. Someone who understands our dialogue without words. Someone who doesn't need much but our presence to make them feel whole and alive again. A soulmate is that person who gets you in a way you are still trying to understand yourself. What is it that couples do when they have problems? Automatically, they think they're going to go to somebody else because somebody else is going to give them what this one is not giving them. And it doesn't work, because you begin to go like a bee in different flowers. See, a bee goes to different flowers because the bee, what it's doing is sucking the nectar out of each flower. But when you are in a relationship and you say, okay, this is not going to work, I'm going to go to somebody else, and then the other one doesn't go, I go to somebody else. That's not being, you're not with the soulmate. You're just having a relationship with somebody externally.
You're with a devil mate.
Excuse me?
You are with a devil mate.
You are with a devil mate. A soulmate is a person that matches your purpose and passion. They understand you and they live to push you. Are you living? Is the person that you're with right now, does that sound like that, he or she? They maximize you without diminishing you. They complement you internally. Soulmates complement each other internally. There is a verse in the Bible, it's in Genesis chapter 2. And I want all of you to go there if you do have a Bible. If not, that's okay, you can hear me read it.
Amen.
In Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, this is when Elohim formed man. He first formed man out of the dust of the earth. But then he put something inside of him that was a soul. Look at what it says. And Yahweh Elohim formed man out of the dust of the ground and breathed in his nostril the breath of life, and man became a living soul. A living soul. Now, here, when he made a living soul, there were two souls attached. Because in Genesis chapter 1, verse number 26, he made man in his image and his likeness. No, he made man in his image and his likeness. And look at what he did on Genesis chapter 1, verse number 27. And Elohim created man in his own image. In the image of Elohim created he him, male and female. He created two energies, a male energy and a female energy. And he created he him, male and female, created he them. And Elohim blessed them. Now, he blessed them. He created these two images, these two souls together. Okay? These two souls together. A male and a female energy. Now, something happened here that Elohim did. Here, Adam, which was the female and the male, formed together. And when he formed them, what he put was a soul. So now he's going to take that female soul and that male soul, and he's going to split them up. In Genesis chapter 2, verse 21, it says that for Adam, really, they were together. There was no helpmate. Look at verse number 21. And Yahweh Elohim caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept.
Which
And
one?
he took, Genesis chapter 2, verse 21. And he fall upon, they fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs, and closed up the flesh and stir off, and the rib which Yahweh Elohim had taken from the man, made he a woman. Because now he's shaping it. And brought her unto the man. And Adam said, this is now bone of my bones, flesh of my flesh, and she shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore shall a man leave his father and mother, and shall be cleaved to his wife, and they shall be one flesh. Now, the interesting thing about this is that Elohim said that it's not good for men to be alone. Didn't he say that? What is it that he said? He said here on verse number 20, on chapter 2, verse 20, and Adam gave names to all the cattle and to the fowl of the air and to every beast of the field. And to Adam there was not found a helper for him. Now, that word helpmeet, which is in the King James, is helper. Your soulmate is supposed to be your helper while you live in this world, while you are living. A soulmate is the person that's supposed to be your help person, that's supposed to help you.
Oh, not my slave?
Excuse me?
Not supposed to be my slave?
My husband said, not my slave? No, not your slave, no.
Oh.
The one that's your slave is when you have a relation that is exterior. It's exterior. That's a slave. That is slavery. A soulmate will never, a person who really is your soulmate will never look at themselves. They will always look to better you. What is it that I need to help you with? What is it that I need to make your life better? And then you do to each other, because that's what a soulmate does. This is why Elohim said that there was no helper. There was no soulmate for Adam. So he separated them, and this is why the separation, okay, takes part. There's a separation. I truly believe, I mean, you can take it to the bank, you can call it whatever you want, but this is what I believe. I believe somewhere along the line that when you are really soulmates, that you were with him, we were together, and then he separated us, just what he did with Adam, and then he sent each soul to a different family. We are born into this world, and then when we're born, without knowing, we begin to seek a relationship, not knowing that we're seeking that soulmate that we had when we were in heaven. Now, why do I say this? Because the way my husband and I met, I haven't heard to this day nobody that has met like this. No one. We were 9 years old. I never knew my husband. We both come from Cuba, but we didn't know each other from nothing. We met each other for the very first time that my teacher, in 4th grade, sent me with a friend of mine to a class where my husband was, and they were throwing paper airplanes and all that stuff. All of a sudden, I walk into the class, and I just froze. My husband froze. We started looking at each other. And the only thing that I said, I know this man. I know, oh, there he is. He's there. There he is. There he is. I know who he is. My heart started pumping. I didn't understand. My husband at the same time has always told me that he felt that I know this woman. He said that something came out of him and went inside of me, and then came out and went inside of him. We froze. We froze like we knew who we were. Now, 9 years old, I go out and I start talking to my friend, and I said to my friend, Conchita, there he is. And he goes, there's who? And I said, yeah, that little chubby guy with the dark glasses, with a dark frame. He's there. Isn't he handsome? And she looked, she goes, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. He goes, Conchita, I know this man. I know who he is. Now, we've been together for 40 years. We have gone through our ups and downs, because just because you have your soulmate doesn't mean that you don't go through problems. But I'm going to tell you that is something that it's like my husband and I, it's something that we need to be together. And it's beyond sex. It is not external. It is internal. It is a profound love. It is a profound thing that honestly and truly I'm speaking for my husband. I need to be next to him. It is not that my husband's a god. It's not that I am his goddess. But literally, even to this day, if my husband if we feel sick, whatever we feel it. The other feels it. If we feel happy, the other one feels happy. It is a profound love that honestly and truly, I think literally that we're from outer space somewhere. Because I have never heard of this. Never. And I'm going to tell you, the relationship that my husband and I have to this day, it is so profound that even intimacy is not normal. What am I talking about? Because when you have your soulmate, literally your soulmate, each other, it is beyond natural things. It is really spiritual. Your soulmate is really your spiritual partner in this life. And whatever it is that you do, even though you have your personality, you have you have your personality, the way you are, you're different, you have different likes, but it's just something that is very special. It is beyond the physical. It is like a braid that you are bound profoundly as soulmates, and no one can take that away. Nobody can break that. No one. No divorce, and we were divorced for 3 months. No divorce, no man, no woman, nobody can, and it's very powerful, and it's something that to this day, not even my husband and I can explain. Because I'm telling you right now, even though we get older, my husband and I, we get older, everything's going south. You change. But I look at my husband as the most handsomest man, the most beautiful man that exists. No man comes close to him. And he says the same thing about me. Now that is not normal, because in normal relationship you don't say those things. Well, really, I've been 40 years with my wife, I'm 40 years with my husband. Are you kidding me? I always tell him that I got a headache. Don't bother me today, honey. Can you give me some aspirin? No. And you're going to see how you're going to find your soulmate. Your soul speaks of intellect, will, and emotion. Your soulmate is a person that connects with you internally, but most of relationships are developed from the external of a person. Then we wonder why that person cannot fulfill our lives. Because we are developing that relationship through the external, not the internal. It's because we did not develop those relationships in the dimensions of the souls. Relationships are supposed to be developed in the dimensions of your soul, not of your body. Do you understand that? And if you don't, that's okay, because I'm going to explain it. We develop most of our relationships in the dimensions of the flesh and the lust thereof. Elohim created male and female, and look at this. Elohim created females and males, animals, female and animal and male animals, to strictly do one thing, to mate. And and create and really
Reproduce.
of his kind, correct?
Yes.
But when he made man and woman, he had something in his mind different. Bingo! Bingo! This is a powerful statement that he did not do with animals, but he had it in his mind when he created mankind. Elohim is not making Adam. Elohim did not create a sex partner for Adam. It doesn't say that he created Eve so he can be a sex partner. No. Elohim is not making Adam a sex partner, but Elohim is creating for Adam a soul mate. For his will, for his intellect, for his emotion, Elohim said, I will make him a helpmeet. I will make him a helper. Because Adam needed help. And I'm not just talking about Adam. Adam really doesn't mean males only. I'm talking about females also, because Adam in Hebrew really means mankind. Female and males. Relationships are supposed to help each other. A soulmate always has the capacity to help you. A person that you're just living with and you're just having a relationship that is external, they're not going to help you per se inside. They're going to help you outside because they're looking more on the flesh. Ask yourself this question. Now, ask yourself this question. Look at your relationship right now and ask yourself this question. Can this person in my life right now, can he or she help me? Can this person in your life right now, can this person help you? And I'm not talking about your external. I'm not talking about sex-wise. Because anybody can have sex. We have sex like animals. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, can this person really help you what you have, what your needs inside of you, what you need? If you say yes or no, then you're right. Not only Adam needed help, but also Eve did too. It's a principle. It's a law. It's not just that men in relationships need help. No, women do too, because we are helping that soul to get better. So that soul of the male needs to help the female soul to be better. In a relationship, if a relationship with an individual does not help you, that individual will be, cannot be your soulmate. If that individual does not stir your intellect, does not make you healer, does not make you healthier emotionally, that person definitely is not your soulmate. If that relationship does not have the capacity to help you, you are more than likely to develop your soul tie. What is your soul tie? Soul ties are not soulmates. Soul ties are relationships that really are related to their bodies, to outside. Soulmates are the ones that are inside. They relate to the inside, to the internal. A relationship may be sexually excited and never be helpful. You can be the Tarzan and the Jane moving in the vine, and you say, come and get your love, my friend. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. This sexual excitement will never be helpful as a soulmate. Most people who are in deep relationship are with people who cannot help them. Just look at the relationship. Just look at your relationship. Can this person help you? Just look at it right now in your relationship. Can this person help me internally? Not sexually. Only a soulmate can help you rise to your greatest potential. Only a soulmate will empower you to maximize all that Elohim has put in you. Other relationships have expiration dates. Soulmates are for life. Let me say that again. Other relationships have expiration dates. Only your soulmates or soulmates are for life. Your soulmate gets you without explanations. They are so connected to your internally. They get you. Your soulmate is not only compatible with you, but they have a chemistry with you and compatibility. Now, you will never get a soulmate until you explore your own soul. If you don't know your soul, you cannot attract your soulmate. Unless it happens something close to like what happens to my husband and I when we were 9 years old. You do not look for your soulmate. It doesn't happen that way. Oh, if I only find the right person, if I only find the right man, if I only find the right woman. Number one, you cannot find that person until you learn to find yourself. Because if you don't find yourself and you don't know what type of soul, what is it that you want, you cannot attract what is it that you how? You don't even know what you're looking for. Oh, I want a good girl. I want a Christian woman. I want this. I want a nice man. I want a six-pack. I want man to. That's fine. You're talking about the physical. You're talking about how much money you want and all that stuff. How much money you. Okay, that's fine. But what about really to go beyond? What really matters is the inside of that person. Because the inside of that person, who is that really person is? Because the outside is going to wrinkle as time goes by. Everything is going to go south. And sometimes as you in the relationship, you might get a little fat and you might get a little tired and you just change. Then what happens? What happens? Oh, I fell out of love. Soulmates do not fall out of love. Soulmates, even when the person dies, the other person dies, you will always love that person like no other human being or like in the other relationship. Many people in marriage, they don't understand each other. How can you know anything about your spouse, which is supposed to be so-called your soulmate, when you don't even know your own soul? Most people don't know who they are. How can you are expected to know your spouse? And then you blame your spouse or him or her that the reason that you're having problem in that relation is because him or her. No, is that you don't know who you are. And then people begin to look for other relationship because you know what, this one is no good. No. You haven't found yourself. You don't even know what your soul is. You don't even know what you want. So what you look at automatically, somebody that puts attention to you. You want somebody to put attention to you? Just tell them that you have $1 million in the bank and they're going to put all the attention. They believe me. They are going to give you all the attention in the world.
Them and everyone else.
I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
The concept of taking somebody in marriage is to accept her and him or her completely with all their flaws. You are taking this person when you stand before Elohim and say, I take this person to be my life soulmate. When you get married, you sign the paper second. That's the physical. You get married when you say I do. Spiritual. You are committing to this person's soulmate until one of them passes away. This is a heavy duty commitment and it should not be entered lightly because it is sacred and it connects you to Elohim. There's a lot of marriages right now that really do not make Elohim or God their number one source. And if he's the one that really invented and created marriage, he's the only one that should know what marriage is all about, which marriage has nothing to do with, literally has nothing to do with man. And I mean really mankind. It really has to do in the spiritual world. Marriage is spiritual. Marriage is not natural. It really isn't. Anything that has a soul has to master individuality. You have to know yourself. How can you be true to another person if that person does not know him or herself? Every soul is an individual. When you in a relationship, you cannot make that soul a slave to the way you want it to be. Because each person in a marriage relationship, in a relationship, is an individual. And a soulmate respects that individual. Respects that soul. Before anyone identifies a soulmate, before you identify a soulmate, you need to identify yourself. Who I am. When you discover who you are, it creates a contentment. Who Elohim has made you, what he created you to do. Learn to explore yourself before you open yourself to somebody else. That is the problem that we're having in relationships today, in marriages and living arrangements, whatever kind of relationship you're having, because you give in too much of yourself. Oh no, this is the right man for me. He loves me just because he has good sex with me. That is not a good, what happens when that dies out? What happens? And you got all the Coca-Cola women going around in circles because they are so, oh yeah, I am the last Coca-Cola in the desert. Woo-hoo-hoo. What happens when this woman turns 60 or 70 years old and you see, even though she is skinny, that you can feel the skin that is different? How many legs does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? How many operations does that woman have to do that it comes a point that there's no more stretching in the body? Because today, many people, what they do, they look what I call vanity relationships. Everything is vanity. That is not a soulmate. How do you know what you want or what you need until you know who you are? 1 Timothy 6:6. 1 Timothy 6:6. But godliness, which is contentment, is great in gain. You need to be content with who you are. When you learn to be content, even by yourself, it is then that your perspective on individuals' life, what is good, what is right, what is fit, what is proper, for you are made, you are going to become sharper. Your mind is going to be sharper. You're going to have a greater discernment, spirit of discernment. And you're going to be very keen. What does that mean? You're going to be like a radar. That now you come to the point that you know what you want, what you don't want, what kind of person you want in your life, because now you have gotten to know who you are. And then what happens is you're going to attract this kind of person in your life. Now listen to me very carefully so you'll know the difference between soul ties and soulmates. What are the difference? Most people and most marriages have what is called soul ties. Very few relationships or marriages have soulmates. What is the difference? And thank you for asking.
It's spiritual.
It is spiritual, but watch what happens. Soulmates are discovered within personal content. Soul ties are developed out of personal insecurities. Most people are in relationship with other people because they are very insecure.
Can you say the definition of
Let me say that definition again. What is the difference between soulmates and soul ties? Soulmates are discovered within personal contentment.
What do you mean by that? Personal.
What do I mean by personal contentment? You know who you are. You study your soul. You know what you want. You know what it is. You're content. You have discernment. You have a sharper mind. You're like a radar. Now you just don't allow any person in your life to be in relationship with you. So you're content with you. Because you're sharper, you have discernment, you have keen, you're like a radar, because now you know what kind of relationship you want, what kind of person, what kind of man or woman you want in your life. And what happens is, these are called, now you're going to draw your soulmate to you. But when you don't do this, most of us, what we have done is called soul ties. And what is soul ties? Soul ties are relationships that are developed out of personal insecurities. I don't want to be by myself. I like this man. He's got money. I like this woman. She's younger than me, and this and that. And you begin to develop things that you are insecure with. So you begin to have a relationship just because you don't want to be by yourself, or just because this person made you feel good, or just because sexually this Tarzan and Jane kind of deal. Those are things that you develop. Those are relationships that you develop. Those are called soul ties.
Makes sense.
Your soulmate pursues you as much as you pursue them. There was a philosopher, his name was Rumi. And this is one of his quotes. What you seek is seeking you. So literally, your soulmate will constantly be seeking you out. Even if you are married, even if you're in a relationship, wants to be with you. They want to see you. They want to be in your presence because you complement each other. Your soulmate pursues you as much as you pursue your soulmate. This is especially for you women.
Some people give the excuse, well, I didn't marry my soulmate, so I got to get a divorce because this other person's my real soulmate.
She's saying that that she has heard that sometimes they say I'm getting rid of this person in my life because this is not my true soulmate, so I'm going to go and get married with my true soulmate. This is the same thing I've been saying. If that person doesn't stop what they're doing and begins to acknowledge and begins to know who they are, they will never get their soulmate. Do you understand that?
They probably will never be happy either.
I'm sorry?
They'll probably never be happy.
They'll never be happy because they're seeking something that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But how can you see something when you don't even know yourself? How? You don't even know. Most people don't even know what a soulmate is. This is for women. Ladies, your soulmate is going to be a man who will break walls for you just to spend time with you. I don't care how successful this man is, how much money he has, how busy he is, how much, how much time that he spent in his business. When you, and this is for ladies, when your soulmates, when you find your soulmate, he will leave important things just to spend time with you. Your soulmates will pursue you not sexually. Your soulmate will pursue you because he loves your mind, he loves your personality, he loves your vision, and he will see where you are going and see himself. Now he can see himself, and this is for men and women, he can see himself or herself into that future. The relationship will start on the inner foundation of the soul, not on the flesh. Do you understand that? True relationship does not start on the flesh. True relationships start in the inside. Marriage is divine and reflects Elohim's intention between two souls who share their love, because it is a sacred marriage and is a covenant of sacred marriage. The expression of their souls bringing into what is divine in each partner, a true reflection of their inner being. Listen very carefully. In marriage relationship, when a spouse is not receiving attention from their soulmate, and this happens a lot to women, they feel disconnected from love. This happens a lot to married women and women living together in relationships. What is the responsibility of a soulmate? The responsibility of a soulmate is to help each other with kindness, have compassion by bringing light and love to the higher spiritual realms of their mate. Soulmates bring what is divine in the relationship. What is divine? To be bigger than human, to become, this is when you become one. This is when you're in intimacy, the two will become one. When you become one in the relationship as a husband and wife, when you have intimacy, what you're feeling, it is not normal. It is not human. It takes you beyond the normal, and there's when you meet your other half. You meet your soulmate, and also you meet Elohim. Our souls originate from the divine source, Yahweh Elohim. But when their true soulmates are together, they have a higher dimension of love and light. They have an overaching prayer and wish to bring peace, light, and love to the marriage relationship, to earth, to humanity, and to all beings. This is why marriage is kadosh, which means it's holy, it's sacred, and it's the only relationship, marriage, that is set apart from any relationship, because it's the only one that the two becomes one flesh. Two souls will become one flesh. Two soulmates will become one flesh. Soul ties will never be one flesh. In Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 9 and 10, it says, the secret things belong to Elohim, Yahweh Elohim, but those things which are revealed belong unto us and to our children forever, that we may do all the works of the law. Deuteronomy 29:29. In Isaiah chapter 6, verse 9 and 10. And he said, go and tell these people, hear you indeed, but understand not, and see indeed, and perceive not. Make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their hearts, and convert and be healed. When you understand the secret things of the Most High, the importance of a soulmate, the importance of a relationship in a marriage, you're not looking at that anymore as in the natural. You're looking in the spiritual. Your soul is what gives you your individuality. And what happens in relationship, that many men and women in relationship, they want to take that person and be a slave and turn that individuality, which is their soul, that Elohim gave them, to be something different. In other words, they want to be in control of their lives. How they should sing, how they should do, what is their goal, what color of flower should you like. That is wrong. A person that does that is a person that is very insecure. And with this I finish. Even though people think of a soulmate as a perfect, harmonious union of bliss, your true spiritual soulmate is the person who intended to help you complete yourself. Being in sharpened, sincere, and committed soulmate relationship helps you to become a better version of yourself. You have to push yourself beyond your comfort zone, beyond your limits, to find your better self. If you are brave enough to move away from your romance checklist, open your eyes and your heart to unexpected possibility, you must just be one of the lucky ones who finds their true soul match. There's a couple of things. How do you know that you have found your soulmate? And I'm just going to tell you one. You just know it. There's a voice inside of you that is deep inside of you that tells you that this is the perfect one for you. It is like a spiritual force that's pushing you to let go of everything and for you to give yourself completely, because it's a voice that tells you, and it's not the voice of the, Mufasa or, no. It's a voice that tells you, this is it. You don't understand. You look at this person, you say, but what does this person have that I'm so attracted to them? Because it's a magnet. And you have crossed paths before. And I don't believe in reincarnation. I really don't. But honestly, because of the experience that my husband and I have had, soulmates have met each other. And in previous time, you may not have connected, but you were in the same place at the same time. And your soulmate meets you at the right time. And the person, each person has to be ready to receive the soul connection. It is that through that relationship, in other words, you have already left the checklist of the romance, but now you understand the soulmates. Your soulmates, what it's going to bring to you all the time is one thing. One thing. It's peace. Your true soulmate, one of the things, the heavy duty thing that most is going to bring you is peace. And you're going to be quiet together. It's comforting like a fluffy blanket. on a cold winter night, whether you are reading in the same room or driving the car, they're just going to have peace. And this is something that we all need today, is peace of mind, peace in our soul, peace in our relationship. We need attention from our mates, especially women. Women are not receiving the attention that they should from their husbands. And a lot of husbands are receiving a lot of neglect from their wives. I hope this teaching has helped you. Until next time, Shabbat Shalom from First Yahudin.